Have you ever pondered the implications of a food storage ban? It's a thought-provoking question, isn't it? Today, we're going to discuss the concept of a food storage ban, its implications, and why it's a relevant topic in our current climate. A food storage ban may sound like a drastic measure, but it's a possibility that has been gaining traction recently. In a world where we constantly face crises, from natural disasters to pandemics, hoarding has become a significant issue. Governments worldwide are beginning to consider policies that prevent such behavior, and a ban on food storage is one such solution. The idea behind a food storage ban is simple: prevent people from hoarding food supplies during times of crisis. This ensures that everyone has access to the essentials, preventing panic buying and the subsequent emptying of supermarket shelves. In theory, it's a system that promotes fairness and equal distribution. But a food storage ban isn't just about crisis management, it's also about promoting healthier lifestyles. By limiting the amount of food that people can store, governments hope to encourage fresh food consumption. After all, a pantry filled with canned goods and processed foods isn't exactly a recipe for a healthy diet. However, it's important to note that a food storage ban isn't without its controversies. Critics argue that such a policy infringes on personal freedoms and could potentially lead to more problems than it solves. For instance, what happens when a family runs out of food and isn't able to immediately restock? These are the kinds of questions that we need to ask when discussing a topic as complex as this. As we delve deeper into this topic, we'll explore the potential impacts of a food storage ban on everyday people like you and me. This isn't just a theoretical discussion. It's a conversation about our rights, our health, and our future, so stay tuned because we're just getting started. A food storage ban, like any other policy, has its pros and cons. Let's dive right into it. On the one hand, a food storage ban could potentially curb the issue of hoarding. In situations of crisis or perceived scarcity, individuals may stock up on more food than they need, leaving less for others. A ban on food storage could prevent this and ensure a more equitable distribution of resources. Moreover, promoting the consumption of fresh food is another potential benefit. A food storage ban might encourage people to buy only what they can consume immediately or within a short period. This could lead to healthier eating habits, as fresh foods often have more nutrients than their stored or processed counterparts. But that's not the whole story. On the flip side, there are also potential downsides to consider. One significant concern is the risk of food shortages. Without the ability to store food, we become entirely dependent on consistent supply chains. Any disruption, be it due to weather, logistics, or global events, could result in immediate shortages. There's also the question of increased food waste. Without storage, food that isn't consumed quickly enough could end up in the garbage. This not only wastes resources, but it also contributes to environmental issues like greenhouse gas emissions. Furthermore, a food storage ban could have a significant impact on people who rely on stored food for their livelihoods. Think of farmers who store harvested crops, or businesses that sell canned or frozen goods. A ban could disrupt their operations and potentially put them out of business. So, as we can see, the implications of a food storage ban are far-reaching and complex. It would affect not just how we shop and eat, but also our economy and environment. As with any policy, a food storage ban would have its winners and losers. It's crucial to weigh these pros and cons carefully before making any decisions. The right balance could potentially bring benefits, but getting it wrong could have serious repercussions. So how might the public respond to a food storage ban? Well, let's dive into that. The reactions to a food storage ban, like most policies, would likely run the gamut. On one end of the spectrum, there are those who see the ban as a necessary step towards reducing food waste and fostering a more sustainable society. They argue that by limiting our ability to stockpile food, we might become more mindful of what and how much we consume. Recent surveys have shown that a significant portion of the population, especially among younger generations, are increasingly concerned about sustainability and the environment. This group might very well welcome a food storage ban as a bold, proactive measure. On the other hand, there are those who view such a ban as an overreach and an infringement on personal freedoms. They argue that what they choose to store in their pantry or fridge should be their own business, not the government's. They fear that a ban on food storage could be a slippery slope leading to more intrusive regulations on personal choices and lifestyle. Then there are those who fall somewhere in the middle, unsure of where they stand or how such a ban might affect them. They may be willing to adapt to new rules, but also have concerns about practicality and enforceability. In the end, the public's response to a food storage ban would likely be as varied as the ban's potential impacts. So, what can you do in the face of a potential food storage ban? You may ask yourself. Well, there are a number of steps you can take to prepare. Firstly, consider diversifying your food sources. Don't just rely on one supermarket or one type of food. Start exploring your local farmers markets, community-supported agriculture or CSA programs, and even your own backyard. Growing your own food not only gives you control over what you eat, but also offers a rewarding and sustainable hobby. Secondly, learn to preserve fresh food. Canning, pickling, and fermenting are age-old techniques that can extend the shelf life of fresh produce and meats. These methods can help you make the most of your food, reducing waste and ensuring you have access to nutritious options, even if your usual sources are disrupted. Lastly, get involved in local food policy discussions. Laws and regulations around food storage are often decided at the local level, and your voice matters. Attend town hall meetings, sign petitions, or even run for local office. Make your concerns known and advocate for policies that support food sovereignty. While the future of food storage remains uncertain, one thing is clear. Being informed and prepared is key. Remember, the power to navigate these challenges lies in your hands. You have the ability to adapt, to learn, and to make a difference. So, let's use it.